One.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to College Basketball Live. I'm Will and Dean. I'm here with my buddy Jackson. What a great day! 2 days of action at March Madness.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we saw some history in the making, especially with a few teams this afternoon and tonight as well.
hmm
Oof. But we are going to start with Thursday, of course. Well, North Carolina beating up on Wagner. There's really nothing surprising about that. But that Arizona Long Beach State game,
That was interesting for a bit.
for sure, but I mean the storyline with Long Beach State, where Dan Monson was fired before they even won the Big West tournament, and it was just not cool.
hmm
Roll up
I just,
Ticketmaster with fast and easy drive up.
I just
Uh-oh.
won. Yeah, we are usually not up at this hour for
hmm
late night, but in this case, we make an exception, especially for
hmm
all of you covering college basketball for
hmm
March Madness. But anywho, that it was just so insane for Long Beach State to be getting rid of Dan Monson, but then the AD goes, "Oh, I just did it to motivate you guys." I don't
Yeah,
blame you, Will.
I couldn't believe it. He said he was
Yeah.
like he was in an
Roll up
episode of
Ticketmaster with
Seinfeld.
fast
It was
and easy
crazy.
drive up.
Well, folks, we got a running gag tonight. The random ad.
Yeah, here we go.
What were you gonna say, Will?
He said he was like an episode in Seinfeld. It was crazy for him. But
Yeah,
they fought, and it was a close first half. But in a lot of these games, the favorite just pulled away in the second.
for sure. I mean, I wish that Long Beach State had upset Arizona deep down, just so we could see a one last run from
hmm
Coach himself. But we will be seeing Arizona on Saturday. Same with Iowa State, but we're gonna be seeing Tennessee on Saturday. Nice.
hmm Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Rick
I
Barnes.
can't do it. I can't just fake be nice to them. It's like I can't do it. It's just oh
hmm
my god. It's like they just can't win in March. But I mean, I know they beat St. Peter's, but they got to show they can do past the Sweet 16.
Yeah, I know, Jackson. You have your beats with the balls. hmm
Oh man.
hmm
But it was a dominant victory by Dalton Canuck in the Vols for sure.
hmm
We saw Creighton beating up on Akron.
Yeah, another game close in the first half. Blue Jays pulled away in the second. I'm excited to see if them and the other Big East teams can keep going.
Yeah. It's such a shame that the bubble teams of the Big East got shafted, but oh well, it is
hmm
what it is. And we see Illinois having a dominant victory, but this was really notable as Marcus Domask recorded the 10th official triple double in NCAA tournament history.
Yeah, I mean, if he was on a fantasy team, he would have scored a ton of points.
Oh yeah, that agreed. And we got our friend Dave Valinsky saying the Pac-12 is the most surprising.
They
Uh,
they might be better than the Mountain West.
well, they're definitely better than the SEC, that's for sure.
hmm
I mean, we don't see them get beat down by Oakland like Kentucky right in front of us. Good grief. But this is a really big moment for the University of Oakland. and
Huge
oh
for the
man,
Golden Grizzlies.
yeah. And we see Coach Greg Camp, he's in his 40th season. And I'll be honest, I hope he's getting a pay raise for this because he deserves it. But the question is, are we ready to say it's the end of an era for the John Calipari era?
I don't know. I think they're gonna bring him back. I think they're gonna give him one more year.
Like not like a firing or anything, but do you think he'll like it's time for him to move on to somewhere else, like say to a Michigan or a Villanova?
He's kind of like a Dabo, sort of. Don't you feel like?
I saw someone compare him to Jimbo Fisher today. I never thought about it like that till you just said it. John Calipari as the Dabo Swinney of college basketball. Nice. Jay Snow says Kentucky owes Cal a lot of money. They can't get rid of him this year. Well, I mean, I know they owe him $33 million if they fire him, but
That's
that
no
didn't stop.
Jimbo buyout. That's no Jimbo buyout.
That's true. I mean, we can talk about how you're safe as long as you have a big buyout. Well, the Jimbo Fisher firing showed us that nobody is safe. Not in the college football world, not in the college basketball world. Nobody. You're just not safe. And I remember talking today on the Paul Feinbaum show. I made a call and I was like, hey, Paul, I got a question for you. Do you think Chris College should be a coaching candidate? And I remember where he said it's hard to say at the moment because of what's happening. But we'll wait and see what happens. But how about Kansas beating Samford in a tight matchup?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is next round's where the road ends for Kansas. I mean, they should be beating up Sanford by more, don't you think?
Yeah, but it was those injuries that were getting to them. So I think it's the depth that's one of the reasons why they've been so downhill. But the question I have is, was it a foul or was it a bad call?
I don't know about that call, Jackson. I think that Kansas got off the hook.
Well, I hope Gonzaga beats them on Saturday.
Yeah, that wasn't a good pick by me, man. McNeese.
I don't feel too bad. I picked Samford.
No, yeah.
I ran my mouth on Twitter saying that was going to be the upset of the day. So, But speaking of Gonzaga showing McNeese who was the boss.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I mean, I thought it's not how I thought this game would go. I thought McNeese would cause a bunch of turnovers and pile up points, but did not happen. Zags held the ball well, scored.
Yeah. Well, we got friend Tim Prangley from Trojans Wire and at USC Football, the Voice of College Football, giving out a friendly hello. What's up, Tim Prangley? Thank you for tuning in to tonight's special edition of the College Basketball Recap Preview Show. It's an honor having you tune in to tonight's edition, man. Thank you for tuning in. And we got the 11 seeds showing the 6 seeds who's the boss, including, sorry to mention this to you, Will, Duquesne showing VCU who was the boss in the A10, but they also showed BYU who was the boss. And this was like a few days after Keith Dambrat, I believe that's his name. Did I get it correct?
Dambrot.
Dambrot. Okay. Yeah, he announced his retirement a few days earlier and said, "Okay, this is my final season, folks. This is gonna be my last run."
Mhm.
And not only was this a huge upset over BYU, but this was the first NCAA tournament victory in 55 years for the program.
Mhm.
So my question is, do we foresee a Cinderella run in Coach Dan Brought's final year?
Well, they're gonna have to push teams around like that again, and I don't know. I don't know if they can, but I was just impressed of how much they bullied with BYU.
Well, it was a fantastic finish for sure.
Mhm.
Dave Valinsky says Virginia is so bad it put Colorado to sleep in their next game. We'll definitely go more into depth about that in just a little bit for sure. But how about the Donald Ducks smacking around the Gamecocks?
Yeah, I mean, this was about coaching experience. Dana Altman, he's done it. He's an expert. Lamont Parrish, he's just learning his craft, and that showed in the tournament.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. I can't wait to see what Oregon brings out tomorrow in the round of 32.
Mhm. Yeah,
And we
I'm
see
excited.
and we see North Carolina State and
The
DJ
fighting Jim
Burns.
Valvanos.
Oh, yeah. They are bringing it against Texas Tech. What
Mhm.
a big victory right there. How about that? Shout out to our good buddy Only Talk Sports who did a live stream on this game.
Mhm. Yeah,
Huge.
I mean, NC State's just too big. I mean, Pop Isaacs is good, but NC State, they're just too big, too strong.
Oh, yeah. And we saw Dayton making a huge comeback in the last 6 minutes against Nevada. What
I
a
thought the
huge
game was lost. I thought Nevada won, honestly. And Flyer just went on that run and stole it. What a comeback!
I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought Nevada would get it done, but I was just too shocked when they blew it. Memo
Yeah.
to me: do not pit Steve Alford teams to win an NCAA tournament game
No.
next year. And we got a yo from Traveling Fools. Yo. TF, how you doing tonight, man?
Mhm.
Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of the College Basketball Recap Preview Show. And Moose says, "Holy crap! I went 23-9 in the men's first round,
Mhm.
13-3 in women's day one." And you
Mhm.
said you didn't know a whole lot about college basketball. I'm proud of you, Moose. I'm proud of you, man. And just a little while ago, Texas, Colorado. Oh God, 11 points in the first half. Are you serious?
They got too used to playing like Virginia. They like copied how the team that they played.
Ugh, this is pitiful, pitiful.
Yeah.
Onward to Washington State and the University of Drake.
What a great game. I
That
wish
was
both of
an
these teams could move on, and then we could I don't know, we could take someone else out because both these teams were great. Fun game.
maybe we should have had Drake play Texas instead of Colorado State,
Yeah.
or just put like Indiana State in ahead of
Mhm.
Virginia instead.
Mhm.
But Michigan State had a lot of doubters. Everybody was saying they can't get it done in March this year.
Mhm.
But somebody forgot to tell Tom Izzo that as they dominated the Mississippi State Bulldogs.
Mhm. Yeah, big win for the Spartans. Really impressive. I don't know. Carolina's they gotta watch out.
Oh yeah. It's gonna get ugly for those Tar Heels if they underestimate them.
Mhm.
But onward to today.
Stetson wasn't ready.
No, they weren't.
Mhm.
No, they weren't. But we see Purdue beat Grambling 78-50.
This
They were
game was
alive and
interesting for a little bit, but Zach Edey was just too much. They couldn't stop him.
well, I mean, if you put in Grambling, if you were putting this game on the parlay and you put Grambling plus
Mhm.
27.5 on your parlay, then you suffered a bad beat.
Oh man. Yeah.
Dave Valinsky says, I wanted my Iowa versus Iowa matchup so badly. Oh, that
Mhm.
would have been cool. Moose says the 4 teams that impressed me the most in round 1 was UConn, Houston, North Carolina, and Purdue. And Breakaway 34 says, I don't follow basketball much either, but I try to follow it on 11 points and a half. That is so rough.
Mhm.
And we got Tim Prangley and Moose and Traveling Fools giving out a yo to one another on the chat. And Houston defeats Longwood. Well, I mean, it's Longwood.
Yeah. Mhm. Happy for the
But
Lancers to get in, but yeah.
Well, Marquette dominated Western Kentucky in the second half. But this game was notable.
First half, I was sweating. I had Marquette winning it all. I was sweating, but they got it done.
I mean, we know someone who wasn't sweating, though, in the first half. Bijan Robinson.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, he had a perfect bracket until Western Kentucky lost. That.
Unfortunately, the toothpaste didn't work that well for Colgate as the Baylor Bears beat them up.
Yeah. That you just don't mess with the bare necessities. You just don't do it. But how about the University of Yale and James Jones? How about that?
Man, they left Charles Barkley sad, man. That was funny. We gotta see Charles Barkley react to his team lose, but yeah, heck of a job by Yale. Always pick the Ivy League team the first round. That's gonna be my new rule because they've been getting it done.
Oh yeah. And Duke got it done against Vermont.
Yeah, that game was interesting for a bit, but Jeremy Roach, man, what a leader he's become for Duke. Happy for him. Got it done.
Well, and I'm glad the Crimson Tide got it done against Charleston today.
Yep, the Cougars just couldn't stop the Tide. Just kept on rolling. Nate Oates, doing it even. Maybe as a lower seed, it'll help out the Tide a bit. As that one seed might put a little bit of pressure on them. Maybe they can make it to the Final Four this year.
Oh yeah. What's up, Ralph Wolf? Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of the College of Basketball Recap Preview Show. Thank you for tuning in. Texas A&M, we'll definitely get to the Texas A&M Aggies. And we know Moose is asking what's up with the 12-5 seed upsets. I'm glad you asked. We don't see it with San Diego State and UAB. We're not going to get that UAB Auburn matchup, unfortunately.
I know. But hey, maybe they can play each other in the NIT. Maybe we can put that game there.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, San Diego State, Yale, I mean, that works too.
Mm-hmm.
So, there we go.
Well, Duke better be on alert because the Dukes are coming, and they looked impressive against the Badgers for sure.
Booyah. Congrats to James Madison, and may you pull off some chaos in March Madness. Well, we found another team that pulled some chaos, and they won their first NCAA tournament game in school history, and that's the University of Grand Canyon.
Yep, we just watched that. We just finished up watching that. Got on here on our phones and computers and got ready to talk ball as the
Oh,
Dukes,
yeah.
as the Antelopes. That's a fun name. They look dangerous too against St. Mary's, so it'll be interesting to see if the 12 seeds can make a run.
Oh,
And what
yeah.
team that's not making a run is New Mexico. Man, I was wrong about this game. Clemson dominated the Lobos.
So was I, man. I was wrong too. Because I mean, maybe it's just me, but Brad Bunnell just he only does just enough to stay off that hot seat. Because I
This
mean,
has to
if
be
he,
Brad's greatest moment.
yeah, I mean, the only thing that's keeping him out of trouble is Dabo Sweeney. And we see Colorado in a fantastic finish against the Florida Gators. What did you think about that game, Will?
Well, hey, it was fun for me. Not a whole lot of scoring. But those coaches are going to be tightening up the Colorado's coach better tighten up that defense. But man, that crazy three Florida made at the end, I'm like, oh my gosh, are they actually going to complete the comeback? But nope, the Buffaloes iced it away. So I wonder if we're going to see prime time at the next game. That would be fun.
Oh yeah, that'll be hilarious. And Ralph Wolf says James Madison beat Michigan State early, and everyone laughed at Michigan State. Turns out that James Madison is pretty good. Well, we both of us had our eyes on James Madison the moment they upset Michigan State. We made sure of that real quick. But that Northwestern Florida Atlantic game right there. I
What a
mean,
way to start off the day.
oh yeah. I mean, the game tying shot by Northwestern, and then Florida State just not Florida State, Florida Atlantic taking their sweet little time trying to make that game winning shot.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't a Hollywood movie. This is real life.
Mm-hmm.
Don't try to wait till 1 second. Come on.
There was that call with the injury of Golden that Northwestern could have scored. I'm glad that didn't cost the Wildcats. I'm glad they're still able to win.
Yeah. It was a huge win in overtime. I mean, Northwestern just dominated Florida Atlantic. I mean, and you know what else has occurred from this game, Will? This is the third time in school history that Northwestern has won an NCAA tournament game. And it's all under Chris Collins.
Chris Collins, man, give him the Louisville job.
Either that or Kentucky. I mean, that would be good with me. But I mean, Dusty May's a pretty good coaching candidate. I mean, I get that Florida Atlantic had a bad day, but don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I mean, he still took Florida Atlantic on a historic Final Four run last season. But this game, Texas A&M Nebraska had an interesting storyline. No, it wasn't the fact that they both were in the Big 12 together. It was the fact that Trev Alberts left Nebraska for Texas A&M last week. I mean, we know Johnny Manziel was at the game, but was Trev Alberts even at the game or no?
I think it was a little too awkward for him.
Kind of like, being with someone, then you see your ex at the same place. But unfortunately, Nebraska is still looking for that first NCAA tournament win. But Fred Hoiberg has the Nebraska Cornhuskers on the right path. And before we get to the TCU Utah State matchup, This concludes the SEC's run in the first round as 3-5. I gotta tell you, that's been a disappointing
Wow.
run. Yeah. That's bad if you're the SEC. And the SEC and the Big Ten were just like dominating the conversation with the NCAA tourney field. I mean, I bet you the Big East and the Big 12 are laughing one off, man. They are just having a good time with it. And Jay Snow says, I thought Grand Canyon was a school where people took their classes on their iPhones. No, it's a regular school. Ralph Wolf says some famous people went to Grand Canyon. They have like 10 former MLB guys like Tim Salmon.
The Kingfish, Tim Salmon.
And Traveling Fool says thumbs up on Will's. Agree, man. Let's give Will and Dave a lot of thumbs up, man. Jay Snow says way too many SC schools got in. Well, it showed today and yesterday, that's for sure. Especially Mississippi State. He was probably there, but in the background somewhere. I'm thinking he's talking about Trev Alberts. And we got Michigan football at the Voice of College Football, and the host of the Ocho at the Voice of College Football, John D'Animo, tuning in to tonight's edition of the College Basketball Recap Preview Show. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's show, John. It's an honor, man. Oh, where were we? TCU Utah State. What was your take on that game, man?
I was wrong on this one too, man. I mean, Mr. Sprinkle over there, he sprinkled in V's for victory at Utah State, man. I was shocked how good Ryan Osgar and all those boys, they took it to TCU.
Yeah. It's a shame that TCU lost. Because shout out to our friend and co-host of Frauds Insider, Melissa Treebwasser. We're sorry that the Horned Frogs lost on you. But as for Utah State, we want to give you a huge congratulations on an amazing, dominant victory over the Horned Frogs.
Let's get into the round of 32.
Exactly, man. Let's go. And we're going to be starting off at the Delta Center on CBS at the West region between the Dayton Flyers and the Arizona Wildcats. Now, on Thursday, did you think you would see the Atlantic 10 go 2-0 in the round of 64?
No, I thought that we would go 0-2, but we went 2-0. I'm happy for our conference. We're getting some more money for our NIL funds.
Question is, can the A10 do it again?
Well, we'll see. I mean, Teron Holmes, Dayton's best player, is from Goodyear, Arizona, so maybe he can take it to the Wildcats. That would be great. But I'm going to have to go with Arizona, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'll go with Arizona as well, but I will be pulling like heck for the Dayton Flyers.
That would be great.
And we got another great game on CBS between the Gonzaga Bulldogs and the Kansas Jayhawks.
Well, you have to say Gonzaga is the favorite now with the Kevin McCullers injury, and I think the Zags will do it. They look sharp against McNeese, and I think they'll beat the Jayhawks.
Yeah. Well, I will say, though, I'll be going with the Bulldogs. I mean, you can get lucky against Sanford, but you can't get lucky against those Bulldogs. What do you think, Will?
I agree. I'm going with the Zags as well.
Here we go. And we got another great game on CBS at the Spectrum Center between the Michigan State Spartans and the North Carolina Tar Heels. Can Michigan State get an upset, or is it going to be a big victory for the Tar Heels?
A lot of Tar Heels fans feel disrespected, only being a 3.5-point favorite. And you know what? I think they'll get it done. I'm going to go with the Tar Heels.
Well, I'll be going with the Tar Heels as well. And then we see the Iowa State Cyclones and Washington State on the Health Center Omaha in Omaha, Nebraska. Can Washington State get that upset, or does Iowa State get it done?
I would love the Cougs to win, but I'm going to go with the Cyclones because they're playing in Omaha, and that's really close to Iowa. So I think Iowa State will win with their home fans there.
Right there with you. I'll be going with those Cyclones as well. But we got a game on TBS and True TV, as they will be seeing some actuality at the PPG Paints Arena between the Oakland Golden Grizzlies and the NC State Wolfpack. Who's going to go to the Sweet 16?
I think the Pack are on a mission. I'm going with NC State. Just too much size.
Agreed. I mean, I'm going to go with DJ Burns and the Wolfpack as well. But we got another great game that's going to be a huge storyline on CBS. Not only is this game going to be a future conference game in the SEC next season, but it's also Rick Barnes going against his old team, the Texas Longhorns, as he is leading the Tennessee Volunteers into the Spectrum Center.
I'm going all balls here. I just think they have the better team, better shooters. I'm going with Tennessee.
I'm going to go with the Vols as well. I think for once they can get it done. I think Dalton Canuck can get it done. I can be biased, but I'm not that biased. Got to think with the head, not with the heart.
We got
the Duquesne. We got Duquesne Dukes going up against the Illinois Fighting Illini.
Yeah, once again, I'm going to go with my head, not my heart. Love to see the Illini do it, but I mean, the Dukes do it, but I think the Illini are just too much.
I think I'm going to go with Duquesne for the upset. So I think they can get it done. But how about Dana Altman?
The
at
Dana
Oregon
Altman reunion party. Oh, man.
Oh,
this is
yeah,
gonna be
baby.
fun.
At the PBG Paints Arena on TBS and True TV. I love it. Who do you think gets it done?
I'm going to go with Oregon. They looked better. They looked more ready. I think they're going to get the upset.
I'm going to go with the Donald Ducks as well, man. I love those Ducks. Go Wolfpack from Sports Talk with Austin. Ralph Wolf says Tennessee, Texas in the round of 32 seems weird. I think it's like Sorgy Story said last Sunday. It's like Jay said, they went for the big storylines. And I think like Rick Barnes going up against his old team is a storyline. Will and Jackson, you guys are killing my picking the Quacks. I'm sorry about that, man. Illinois scores too much for the Dukes to handle. Creighton better win. I got them going to the Final Four. Well, Oregon better win because I got them going on a Cinderella run. And finally, we get to Sunday as we start off the day at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana, between the Colorado Buffaloes circling the wagons against the Marquette Golden Eagles.
Marquette better win. I'm going Marquette.
I'm
they
going
have to
Marquette.
win for me.
There you go. I'm going with those Golden Eagles as well. I think they can get it done. And then we stay at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse on CBS.
What a home court advantage here.
For sure. We're gonna see this game at the Gamebridge Fieldhouse on CBS, where the best is right here between the Utah State Aggies and the Purdue Boilermakers. Who can get it done? Can
Zach Edey and Purdue are on a mission. They want to be like Virginia, so I think they'll continue their run.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Purdue. I mean, I know I've been dogging them, all season and all over the preseason because I mean, I kind of just go at the teams that get hyped up in the preseason and hyped up in March Madness, but then don't get it done in the postseason. So if they can get it done, I will quit ragging on them. If they can get it done, not just this year and the next few years, I will quit it. I promise you, Purdue. Same with Tennessee.
No, you're gonna give them the crap anyways, Jackson.
Nah, I'm mean, but I'm not that mean. Speaking of, we got the Dukes versus the Dukes at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York.
James Madison's on a mission as well. I'm gonna go with the Dukes. I think they're the big Cinderella of the year.
Same. I don't think Duke can get it done against James Madison. Jay Bell's gonna get his feelings hurt by this game.
And Jay Williams for sure.
Oh yeah. But we got a drama game at the FedEx Forum between the Clemson Tigers and the Baylor Bare Necessities.
I don't know. I'll pick Clemson. Clemson looks really good.
I'm gonna go with the Bears on this one. But we got a very funny game on Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena in Spokane, Washington, between Grand Canyon and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Can Alabama get it done, or does Grand Canyon have a little Cinderella run of their own?
Grand Canyon, man. I have to pick the Lopes. But that could be some recent bias, but GCU looks good.
Just stop cursing. I swear I'm not gonna curse him. I'm not gonna curse him like I did Dave Aranda. I promise you. Oh man.
Oh man.
Well, Crimson Tide will get it done against Grand Canyon, but we got not reality, but some actuality on the Barclays Center between Northwestern and the Yukon Huskies. Can Northwestern finally get to the Sweet 16? Or
I'll
does
be
UConn?
pulling for them, but I think Connecticut wins.
Same. It's going to be a Yukon victory by 20. And we see quite a battle in the state of Texas on TNT. They definitely know drama at the FedEx Forum as we have Buzz Lightyear Williams and the Texas A&M Aggies going up against the Houston Cougars.
I think the Cougars' defense is just too good. I think they'll win and move on.
Yeah, I think Houston will win as well.
Mm-hmm.
And finally, we have the Cinderella Yale Bulldogs going up against last year's national runner-up, the San Diego State Aztecs on TBS. And it's going to be a fantastic one. Can Yale get to the Sweet 16? Or
I think that the Aztecs will lock them down. I'm going San Diego State.
Right there with you. I'll be going with the San Diego State Aztecs as well.
Mm-hmm.
Bama might score 109 again.
Yeah.
I could see that. Bama and UConn, Baylor backcourt is too much. Jay Snow says, I'm going to be emotional watching Boo Booey's career come to an end Saturday night.
He's been awesome.
Well, maybe it won't come to an end Saturday night. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Houston wins big. Houston, but I think it's closer than people think. The Boo carrying past UConn one-man shows have done it before. And let's see. Houston players look like they are all 27-year-old guys.
Yeah. They're veterans.
Well, I will say, though, before we head on out of here and we say our good nights and sleep wells and stay warm and because it's cold out. What's your final thoughts on tonight, Will?
Was hoping for a couple more upsets than what we had, but hopefully the teams that did get upsets can move on. We can get some Cinderellas this year.
I'm thinking we could. I mean, the highest seed we've ever had in our lifetimes go to a Final Four was an 11 seed, but we've never seen a 12 seed, a 13 seed, 14, 15, or 16 seed get in.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this is the year. Maybe not.
Mm-hmm.
I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'll be interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Good night, all. Well, just sleep well and stay warm. It's cold out, Moose. Stay away from the cold. Stay away from the rain, man. Nah, it's over. UConn's gonna win every game by 15 plus on their way to back-to-back chips. Unfortunately, I think UConn's gonna repeat.
Well, I don't know. Purdue looks good, so they look like worthy challengers.
Well, I will say though, we will be back for the next show where we will be going over the round of 32 recap and the Sweet 16 preview. And let me tell you something, folks. You'll love it. That I can guarantee you.
Mm-hmm.
And where can everybody find you? And what's your plans for the channel, Will?
Just more of this, man. Just more covering the March Madness right here. Keep it locked. Will and the Irish. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
You can also check out Will and D at
Mm-hmm.
Marcus_era on X. You can also check him out on Instagram and Threads on Klowski414, where he gives his magnificent takes on the sports world.
Mm-hmm.
You can also find me at Jackson Johnson 979, where I'm getting close to 500 each and every day. And you can find me on X on Jackson09960335 and on Instagram and Threads on Jackson Johnson 543-908, where I not only just run my mouth about what's going on, I also just give my updates on what I'm doing, what I'm not doing here and there.
Mm-hmm.
Great show, guys. Should be a great Thank you so much for tuning in to tonight's show, Breakaway. We appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in, Dave, Jason, John, Moose. Thank Tim, Traveling Fools, all of you. And of course, Austin. I don't want to forget anybody that's been in the chat tonight. Thank you for tuning in to a very special edition of the College Basketball Recap Preview Show. We appreciate so much, you guys. And as we wrap this show up, we wish you all a good night and sleep well. Stay safe, stay cool, or stay warm because you don't want to get cold out.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, everybody.